All right, this is going to be a lower body workout utilizing a Weider Ultimate Body Works and a pair of dumbbells. And before I get started here, I'm just going to let you guys know, I'll apologize just for the video quality and the angles. My head kind of gets chopped off in some of these exercises, so eventually I kind of fix it. But later on, again, just kind of sorry about that. This workout, you're just seeing me kind of messing around, just kind of warming up a little bit. Again, I wasn't totally sure what I was going to do. I knew I wanted something kind of quick and efficient and just kind of with a few exercises. So you'll see what those kind of evolve into as we get into it. But right now I'm just essentially just warming up. Again, as usual, all the links for the equipment or relatively kind of similar equipment we found down below. I don't link the power blocks just because they're kind of expensive now, so I link another pair of adjustable dumbbells that I think are still useful. You'll see me kind of go to this bread and butter exercise, not this one, but I'm just kind of warming up, just doing some kind of like a deadlifting motion, even though the weight's not going to the bottom. One of my favorite exercises for the lower body, and even though I love the Weider Ultimate Body Works, I still am a huge fan of and I promote definitely kind of, if you can get a good secondary item, just because the Weider Body Works is so cheap and inexpensive, I always kind of point people to that thing first. But a pair of dumbbells are always going to be beneficial because they're so versatile. But I do believe basically once in a while kind of picking up just heavy weights once in a while. My point is that. So right now, you can't see it now. I'm just kind of stacking the weight on my shoulders. You can kind of see it there. Just doing kind of like a front squat, I guess you kind of can say it. This exercise is, I kind of ditched it a little bit later because my hair started kind of get caught in the actual dumbbells. And after like the second or third set me doing this, my shoulders were starting to kind of hurt the way the dumbbells were kind of sitting on there. So while it felt good at first, I kind of ditched this later. But feel free. I mean, it wasn't a bad thing to kind of do, but just something different the way I was just kind of just maneuvering them. This workout right here, this exercise, I thought I kind of would incorporate this a little bit more than I did, but it's something you could do as like an interval if you guys are doing other future workouts. I've done this in the past before. What you can see, actually, you'll see it in this video. There's a knob under that machine that kind of pops off, so eventually that causes an issue. You can always fix it, but this little thing like pops off it. But I thought I would just do some little kind of like jumping, kind of like hops. Basically, it's not really that hard. You can put it at the higher setting, and you would maybe like a little bit higher, but harder. But I probably more or less so use this for like an interval. But I pretty much ditch this once the workout kind of gets going here. So again, I'm kind of doing this deadlifting motion. But what I'll do is I'm going to jump back in. Oh, here it is right here. Never mind. So this is the exercise that I really like, and you'll see me do this a lot. This is essentially the meat of the workout right here. And I've said this before in other videos that this could be an exercise you just do for a whole workout. Is just do maybe if you want a really simple basic exercise, you're just kind of picking up weight. I would dare say use the word functional exercise. It's just as good to kind of do. Has a good carryover to other things. Is just this kind of, again, I don't know what I call it other than it's kind of like a centralized deadlift with dumbbells. I'll come back to that in a second, but then again, going back to this exercise, I have a whole video about this one. I think I call it like best glute exercise at home. I haven't done this for a while, even though I do like this exercise. So it was a good these two combos of exercises is pretty much what I do the whole workout. I think I get around 5-ish sets, but this exercise, I always just say it's a great exercise just to obviously work the glutes. And the reason why I like working the glutes, it's not like I'm trying to like build them up or anything. I just think it's an area of our body that it just gets neglected if you don't pay attention to it, especially in our modern like work environment where we're sitting in tables all day or sitting at desks all day. And it just helps. If you have lower back pain, you want strong glutes. Having strong glutes has a payoff to many other things. So it's a good isolated exercise, and it just feels good. It's also kind of a fun exercise to do, which is another reason why I kind of like to do it. This one I like to this might not fit everybody because sometimes maybe your hips might bother you doing this, but you could modify this. And at the very end, the very last set, I did it, and I wish I did it earlier, which was I just grabbed one dumbbell and I kind of put it in the center and just kind of deadlift it up with a single arm. So if you want to fast forward to the end, you can see the very last exercise. You will see me do this in a single arm. I forgot about that, and so excuse me. You guys can actually expect me to see that later in future workouts. I'll probably do that again. So you're seeing me cranking this up on my shoulder. I think this might be the last set. I do shortly ditch this exercise, but basically what I'm doing throughout this workout is I'm essentially just going to go back to that glute kind of kickback, and then I'll go back to that centralized deadlift with the dumbbells, and then each set I'm just kind of going up the notch. So I eventually worked my way up to, I don't know what I'm at now, but I think I started at 50-ish, and I worked my way up to the max out on these power blocks was 90. So I'm doing some squats. You see I modify it here, but eventually I just get rid of the squats altogether and just stick with the kickbacks and then the that deadlift basically, which essentially starts at this sequence here. So, you know, even though you could count that as a whole larger warm-up if you wanted to, but definitely my point is if you want just a really straightforward lower body workout that I think is excellent, kind of bare bones, you don't want to have to think about it too much, I would do that. Get a pair of dumbbells, get this thing, do a set of the deadlifts like I showed you, either this version or the one at the very end with single arm with a single dumbbell, and then just kind of start at a weight and just each set, just do as many sets as you want, just cranking up another 10 pounds. That's what I did. So you can see here, I want to say it's 50 pounds, but I keep going all the way till I get to the max out, which is 90 pounds in each dumbbell. And then this one, you really can't overwork this glute kickback, so I wouldn't really worry about overdoing this one. You really can't. I mean, you might feel a little sore the first time you did it, but I've said this before, you can make this harder and a little more unique just depending on how much you want to bend the knee or keep the leg straight or at what incline you'll get at. But basically, I'm just going to I'll say one more couple comments about the deadlift and one more example here, and then I'll sign off and let you guys just let the thing just kind of roll out to the very end. I'll make one more comment about the last exercise. But the reason why I like this, again, you kind of have to, it's good to watch this video. I want to keep my hips a little more back. I definitely want to be more, I don't want those dumbbells essentially to pull me too far forward, which is why I throw it so far behind me. As you can see, it's in the center, but I really make sure it gets just below me. So I don't want to put it too far in front of me so I'm not reaching as I make that lift. But I just kind of focus a lot of, at the bottom position, I'm thinking about my butt and my upper part of my hamstrings as what's really initiating that lift out of that bottom position. And then the important part is at the very top, you have a nice full reset. You bring your shoulder blades back. You're not kind of lifting it and kind of hunched over, but that's kind of an emphasis I like to do. So that's pretty much it. I'm going to check back at the very end to make some comments about that last exercise I was telling you about. Otherwise, if you guys just watch this for where it is, I thank you for just watching this far. Please like the video, please subscribe to the channel, and please share this video if you're new to the channel. I know I have many new people that watch it. I have a whole backlog of exercises along with utilizing primarily this Weider Ultimate Body Works, but I definitely appreciate you guys watching. Thanks. Okay, thanks again for watching if you got this far, and I'd be curious if you did get this far. Actually, comment down below. Let me know if you actually did watch this whole thing to the end. But I just wanted to introduce, this video is going to wrap up in a second, but the last exercise, I just want to talk about it for a second. Right after this set, I'll be getting into it. But it's basically the deadlift with just one dumbbell, and the reason I like it, you'll see you can get a lot more speed out of it. Some people I know, when they do that double that deadlift, I've been doing this workout, I've been complaining that their hips kind of bother them, or it's a little too much for their back. This one I think is very doable. A good, nice kind of functional single arm deadlift. I like it a lot in the way it feels. You can get a lot more speed out of it, so a little more faster kind of a cadence than that other one I did. And it's just a little bit more flexible, I think, with the hips for most people. So this is another alternative you can do. You can look for this. I'll probably include this in the next workout. But that's it. Thanks for watching.